Hello everyone and welcome to this informational video on ARK Survival Evolved. So I've seen a little bit of confusion on what all these sliders here mean and all this other stuff. I'm not going to go over all of them, like max structures in range, that one's pretty self-explanatory, but the day cycle speed I believe is how fast the day will go by, and so you use that in conjunction with the daytime speed and the nighttime speed to actually almost map out what your day is going to be like. So if you have a faster daytime speed, you'll actually have a shorter day and a longer night. And for like Dino Damage, that is for how much the damage the dinosaurs will do to your character, but that's also combined with player damage and also has to do with player resistance and dino resistance. So if you have a high Dino Damage but you have a high player resistance, so if you actually turn this slider down, it'll actually increase the amount of resistance that the players have. By increasing this, it'll actually increase the amount of damage the dinosaurs will have. You can actually almost tweak the amount of damage and the difficulty of the game in that sense. Player damage is pretty straightforward, so that's damage to players, so PvP, and also dinosaurs, so PvE. Structure damage, that one's pretty straightforward, but if you're wondering, the higher the number on this one, the more damage you do to structures, or players do to structures rather. And player resistance, the lower the number on this one, apparently the higher the actual player resistance, which was kind of confusing to me. I don't know why you wouldn't have a bigger number for more resistance, but Dinosaur Resistance I believe is the same thing. The lower the number here, the more resistance the dinosaurs have, and the Structure Resistance is the same thing. The Exp Multiplier, on the other hand, you want it to go, this does increments, so obviously a bigger number is better, so that'd be 3 times the normal EXP gain rates. There's the Taming Speed, I believe that one's actually like a set time period. So the lower this number, the faster the Taming Speed, and the higher the number, the slower. So it would take 3 times on its maximum setting, and it would take, well, I don't even know what 0.0 would be because I've never actually tried it. The harvest amount is how much you get per swing. So I believe the higher this number, the more stuff you can harvest. But that's also in conjunction with the harvest health. So if something has more harvest health, it can take more swings, which means that you can get more materials from each stone. So if you have higher damage tools or mounts, you can basically get more materials by tweaking these two. So the harvest amount, the higher the number, the more you harvest per hit, and the harvest health, the higher this number, the more times it can be hit. And so let's go back up here to the player character water drain. This is the lower this number, the slower your character's water will drain, and that's for everybody on the server. So if you're hosting or playing single player, you know, that's a factor, so you can use that to tweak the game difficulty. And then there's also the player food, that's the same thing basically, except for it's just for your food. So the lower that number, the slower it goes down. The same thing for your dinos, the stamina, all of these. This is slower, and all the way to the right would be faster. Same thing for the stamina drain, the player recovery, the health recovery. The higher this number, I believe, the faster you can actually recover health. Same thing for dinos. The dino count is actually, I believe, their spawn rates. The set number of dinosaurs able to spawn within the ARK Survival Evolved world. So the higher this number, you'll notice a much larger concentration of dinosaurs. The harvest health, we've already been over that one, and the Pve Structure Decay period. This one was really interesting. I actually found out about this one on the forums. Apparently, the higher this is, the faster it will decay on a Pve type server, which basically means that just by your structure sitting there like it would normally, like wood decays and metal rusts and stuff like that, stone corrodes. This is actually your structure, I guess, will take damage over time, so the higher this number, the faster it will take that damage, and the lower this number, all the way down to 0, will take no damage at all. The resource respawn period, since this is a period, the lower the number, so to the left would mean it would respawn faster, and to the right it would mean it would take 3 times as fast as normal, normal being 1.0. As far as the level difficulty, this one was really interesting to play with. The higher the level difficulty, the higher the level of the dinosaurs, apparently. So instead of finding like level 7s and level 14s, and with a higher difficulty, I found stuff like level 98s and stuff like that. And obviously the dinosaur's level directly correlates its base stats before you actually level it up. So that's a good one to play with, although at the same time it kind of it does directly affect your game's difficulty, especially when first starting out. So that one's a bit tricky, but also kind of adds a little bit more difficulty to the game, which I personally like. As far as the box, the checked off ones, all these are pretty straightforward mostly. And the mods, I'm not actually going to be getting into mods. I'm mostly play just the stock game. I don't play with any mods, as you can see. And I think that's pretty much it for this video. So leave us a comment, like, subscribe, If you want to see more ARK content, it's up and coming. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.